Welcome to Nightly Repeat. My name's Nathan.
Lucas.
No Devin today. He said he was going to come on in like 5 minutes. He didn't. And so we're recording an episode without him.
Yeah, what a loser.
Yeah, what a loser. So basically, um, what this episode's going to be, it's going to be like, what would you do if blank? And we're going to like go through a couple scenarios and we're going to say what we would do in those particular scenarios. So, Lucas, what would you do if you were in a zombie apocalypse?
I try to find somewhere kind of secluded and away from like a town, probably somewhere where there's a lot of people,
Yeah.
because a lot of people equals a lot of zombies. And then on the way out, probably just, get some food, get some weaponry, and maybe somewhere cold.
I would try to do kind of the same thing. I would go for a rural area and I would try to set up like some sort of farming operation because I think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
if you got like a sustainable food that you didn't need to go too far out, you can like focus more on less of being a nomad, which I think will cause a large majority of deaths, or at least in movies it does, because
mm,
I mean, the only time you're dying is if you're leaving your base to go somewhere to get supplies. So the like fewer times that you're leaving, in my eyes, the better, because it
true.
just significantly decreases your chances of like getting either turned or killed or however it works in this specific scenario. So I think I would just try to set up like a farming base and probably just be a
Mm.
farmer for the rest of my life and try to avoid the zombies at all costs.
Would you rather stay like with yourself, or would you want to find people?
I would want to find people, but I would want to find people that I trusted,
Yeah,
obviously. But I'm talking more like try to locate people that I trust now, not necessarily
yeah,
make new friends. However, I wouldn't be opposed to making new friends, but I would be very, very skeptical as to whether or not they actually had like the best interests of mine, like in the group, or if they were
yeah,
like selfish and they wanted to steal from us and like leave or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
What about you? Same question.
Yeah, I'd probably same thing. I would try to find people I know now, and then go, get out, get out of town. And then if I were to come across someone else, uh, I would question everything they did until I trusted them.
Fair enough. Speaking of like this kind of scenario, are you aware of the Sun Vanished Twitter account?
The what?
The Sun Vanished Twitter account.
No.
What was the Twitter account that was active up until like from I think 2018 up until like November of 2019, and basically
Mm.
the it was like an ARG type thing, um, where this guy had a Twitter account in an alternative universe where like the sun vanished and like there were a bunch of aliens and like it was a really good plot that just some guy on Twitter made up, and it was like you were able to follow the tweets and like he would do polls and stuff as like should I go outside or should I stay inside, or like he would ask people a bunch of questions as to like what he should do, and like there were videos and pictures and a couple of different like branched Twitter accounts. If you haven't seen it, the full thing, it's like it's completed because like the last tweet was in November, and I doubt we'll get another one because it's been like months since then, and the last tweet is very like I'm done, and he'd been doing it for a while. So there's like full videos online that like read the tweets out loud that you can watch. So if you haven't, I would recommend that. It's really cool.
That's pretty
Um,
neat.
so I was going to ask what you do in that specific situation, but we'll go to something else then. Um,
Mm.
what's a actually? Do you have any ideas?
Uh, here's an idea. What would you do if you were in the Star Wars universe?
Would where would I be at? Like, am I in a core
Yeah.
world or an outer rim world?
Let's say Outer Rim world.
Am I rich or am I poor? Rich in
You're
terms of like Outer Rim.
you let's say poor, because that's
Um,
how like every Star Wars, well, not every, but most starting off.
I would do me, and if I
Would you
had a
moisture
greater
farm
purpose, I don't know
if
if
you're
I
on a
would
desert?
really necessarily have too much of a choice, but like in terms of what job I would do, I don't know. I'd probably just do whatever paid the most because like the sense of morality in the Outer Rim, or at least most of the Outer Rim worlds, was like not very high. Like there was like, I
Mhm.
mean, being a contract killer was something that people just did, and it wasn't really like, wow, that's so bad. How could you do that? Like being a bounty hunter is like a very accepted part of society. I don't know if I would be a bounty hunter per se, but I don't know.
I think it'd be,
I would just do
it'd be
something
pretty
that
dope.
paid a lot of money because like there's not the same like morals and like taboos that we have in like on Earth as to like what jobs are and aren't acceptable or what jobs are and aren't more moral. What about you?
Eh, that's I think being a bounty hunter would be pretty cool, but I don't think I could be a bounty hunter like you
Yeah,
said.
same.
Yeah, but um, I don't know. Uh, mm, I'd probably just like farm, moisture farm if I was on like a desert planet. Or
Yeah, there was
yeah.
have you heard of the comic? I don't know the specific name of it, but basically it's like where the guy gets his sister killed by rebels. Or have
Mm,
you heard of that one?
no.
Okay, so basically it's this guy, he's a moisture farmer, and these rebels come and try to steal his father's moisture farming equipment. And in retaliation, like he tries to like stop them from doing that because it's really expensive. And the rebels attack back at him and they kill this guy's sister. So it's the story of this guy who like hates rebels and wants to like kill them as stormtroopers as a stormtrooper. So he enters the stormtrooper academy, and then he goes onto this planet after becoming a stormtrooper, and like he ends up killing this girl's father, um, and like realizing like it's an like never ending cycle, and that this girl's probably gonna grow up to hate stormtroopers and become a rebel, and then maybe make the
Mm,
same mistake that he did. And it was kind of just like um, a small story about a character that you'd never hear about in like a main series movie. I thought it was
yeah.
pretty cool because it's like different.
Given certain circumstances, would you join the Empire? Like like
To most of the empire, I mean, like if I were just a poor person from the outer world, I mean, unless if I had been personally wronged by the empire, then like um, it's something I could reasonably see myself doing because like most of the people didn't like know the extent of like imperial slaveholding and like the
mm,
bad things that the empire did, nor did most people know that like Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine were Sith lords.
yeah.
Like they didn't realize that, and so like for the most part, the empire was good and the rebels were terrorists. And now that being said, in the Outer Rim was like the first place where that mindset was challenged. So there's a very good chance that if I were a poor person on the Outer Rim, that I would already hate the Empire. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I joined the Rebel Alliance either. It would probably
Mm,
just mean that I didn't want to join the Stormtrooper Corps. But I mean, benefits for being a Stormtrooper were pretty nice. So if I didn't have that bias, I mean, I'd probably join the Stormtrooper Corps. What about you?
yeah, probably same. Like if you were given like if you were like starving or just like very very poor, then yeah, I'd
Yeah, it's
probably
an
join.
opportunity. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, it's like the Empire is a bunch of meanie bobinis, and we know that. But like most of the people didn't know that. So I mean, I think it's
And
fair to
also
say that if I were a person, that I wouldn't be able to foresee that.
Yeah. True that. True that.
All right. Thank you for watching Night Repeat, but without Devin. If you liked the episode, cool, but go like the Lucas Tech Tips one. We want you to like that one more. But if you could like this one as well, I'd appreciate it. But like the Lucas Tech Tip one if you want to see
Get,
Lucas with blonde hair. Without
yes.
further ado, we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.